What's up? Hopefully we're live.
People. Thinking about it.
Here is the link. And let me pin this. Do what I tell you to. I might have to do it from here.
I was getting mad.
Pin message. There we go. So, we are doing live readings today. The only one that is available is the Tarot versus Psychic Medium one. So when you go to the link that is in the description, but it's also, I just posted it to chat and it's pinned to the top, which I don't like how it's pinned like that, but whatever, it is what it is. When you go to that, they'll all be sold out except for the first one, which says Tarot versus Medium. We have 4 spots available for y'all. So how you guys doing? What's going on? Tell me what's good. What did you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever time it is for you?
We always like to talk about food here, don't we?
Because it's relatable, dude.
I mean, that's true. I had a sandwich for lunch, which was delicious, because I've been abstaining from the lunch meats. And Em ate my mac and cheese, which is fine.
Or something. Here, wait, let me also post this to Instagrams. To the Instagrams story. Flip. What's up? We're currently doing live readings, so go to YouTube. The link is in the last one.
French toast sounds great.
Talk to the people. I gotta find a link. I should probably give them a link.
We're a big friend. You.
What?
Also, I'm sorry. Friend says that she's a big fan of us. I said that we're a big fan of her. What's up, Christina? Also, if it looks like I'm not looking at you guys, it's because I have 2 computer screens open and try and look at the chat and then also record my face so that I can split the screen. So, sorry if it looks like I'm looking into your soul and then not looking.
This is a surprise live.
Sophie, I'm Welsh. I take a lot of pride in that. That's why my head is so large. If you don't relate to the large head related to being Welsh, I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Let me go to our website, see if people are doing things. We're doing live readings, you guys. It's a fun time. We got one from... I don't know how to say your name. I know I read you. Is it Joelle? Do you pronounce your name Joelle? Hold on, I should probably pop the chat out. It'll be easier for me.
Somebody says looks into your soul while reading souls.
Okay, got it.
Vibe with that?
Yep, okay. So Joelle is the first reading. She's a patron. Okay. So her question comment says past life or whatever is available. So we're doing Tarot versus Psychic Medium readings. And this first one is for Joelle. If you guys are interested in also becoming a patron, that is also in the link in the description. But you writing things down for Joelle? Her name is JT in the chat.
Ah. I know JT. Her patron. It's her name on everything. Which is great. Well, do you have a grandmother that's passed who's kind of sturdy and very hearty and funny?
What's up, Christina? She says she's a patron too. People have missed you. They're like, all want you to come on the lives. I think...
Me?
Yeah, next week I think you would be able to, because that's when your readings change from the evening. She says all of them have passed.
Okay. She's shorter. She has darker skin, like she's tan. Hair is brown but graying, and it's short, like a little bit shorter than mine, but the same kind of style. She has a really cute face. She gives me like old world grandma vibes. Like she makes her own food and her own pasta and her own bread. I'm
German?
asking her. Oh,
Is she
German
German?
would make a lot of sense, yeah. I'm like, you're not Italian. You don't look Italian, but you give me grandma vibes that are very cute. Like she would hold your hand way too tight and have you walk across the street as a child and tell you to hurry up, but then also be like, let's get a snack for you on the way to church.
Oh my
and
gosh.
feed you like a donut. But then also tell you that you have to hurry up and eat it before you get to church. Yeah. You know who I'm talking about specifically? Because I'm asking her if she's on your dad's or your mom's side. She points to your dad, but then talks about your mom, so it confuses me. Good. I'm glad you know who she is, because you said that she passed when you were 2. She's very okay. Mom's side. She's very excited that you remember who she is. Also, do you have a brother, JT? Or Joelle?
Yes.
Okay, because she's talking about a brother, and I was like, I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right person. So those are things that she's giving me to validate who she is and that she knows who you are. Do you have a lot of like, I don't want to say tumultuous, it's more just like aggravating, like slightly annoying things going on with your dad?
She says 1 adopted, 1 natural.
Okay. I feel like this is the one that's related to your dad that you share. Okay. Do you have a stepdad who's alive since your dad is passed? What about someone that's like a father figure who's annoying you?
Hello, girls. Tried buying a reading, but it's all sold out, so I left a tip for you both. You are great. Thank you so much for your tip. Is it actually really sold out? Let's refresh this. It's not sold out. We still have 2 more readings available. We're only doing tarot versus psychic medium readings. So, it will be the first listing. JT Joel says, my brother is in law, possibly.
Yeah, brother-in-law, possibly. I don't know. I don't think it's your brother-in-law. Going like this. So, really funny. Do you have a question for her specifically that she could answer? Or a question that you have in mind?
Do you have past life stuff? Because that is one of the questions in her thing. Or that is the question. I don't know if you have past life stuff.
His grandmother is really adorable. She's like, I can't answer that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see things, but I keep not getting it. I'm not sure about that. Hi, Planet Lex. What's up? How it do? We're doing some readings for Joelle.
Well, do you really like ships or something? The reason I ask is because I feel like you have a past life that was related to ships. I've been having a lot of ship past lives lately. Oh, she says, is there anything she can do to help my sister? Is your sister struggling mental health wise? I like sunken treasure. Okay, that might be why So for one of your past lives, I feel like you have somebody who was more of like a pirate or ship captain of sorts. Kind of wily. I feel like he might have had a real job, but he also used his real job to be a little bit of like a swashbuckler, if that makes any sense. He wasn't like a privateer or a real pirate. He also was like, I did not do those things.
She says her dog is sick. The sister's dog, I believe.
Okay.
Funny ships popped into my head too.
Is your sister's dog?
Imposter syndrome?
No, I don't think imposter syndrome. She might be talking about someone else. Is your sister's dog like a brown brindle color, and they're like on the smaller medium size?
Hello people, what's up? How you be doing? We're doing tarot versus psychic medium readings. If you're interested in one, the link is in the chat as well as the description. But there's only one of those available. She says no, he's black.
Okay.
She's watching the brindle.
Oh, she's watching the brindle dog. Okay, as long as there is a brindle dog too. The black dog, is he older, and does he possibly have like cancer that they might know of? It's on his left side of his body. Or something that ails him on the left-hand side, because I feel like I have this line that goes up from my shoulder and in through like over my head and in through my left eye. Also, thank you for telling me that she's watching a brindle dog, because that makes me feel better. Okay, her dog is a cancer dog. All right. I don't know if there's anything that Spirit can do for your sister's dog, unfortunately. I feel like this is something, a part of his life path that he has to go through, and as sad as it is, it's not something that is unnatural. So your grandmother is kind of about how he knows what's going on, the dog does. One's been talking about it, and he kind of is... Can you hear that?
Kind of.
A little snoring. He's kind of at peace with it, and I'm sorry that is not what you wanted to hear.
It's really sad. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, and the way they explained it to me is I had a dog that was black too, and he ended up being only 6 when he passed. We adopted him from the shelter when we were really little. He was my first dog ever. And he ended up getting this like bump on the side of his face, and when my mom took him in, well, the big thing that was really cool about him is when we got him, we took him home. I picked him up from the pound as a little like 2-3-year-old. He ended up getting parvo when we were at the house, and everyone's like, he's not going to survive. So I remember helping my mom like nurse him and feed him, like hand feed him food and spoon feed him, and then take him to vet hospital to have like IV fluids and like antibiotics and medication. The day that my mom went in to go see if he was doing better, the vet came out. He had ripped all of his IVs out and was like a normal puppy. So he's like, I think he's gonna be okay. But
Sophie says, if I pay for a tarot versus medium reading, do I get the reading now? We're doing live readings, so there's 4 readings that are available, so we'll do them in order. And then Joelle says, he's okay, I'll be okay. He was a shelter dog that came with problems, and my sister rescued him and has taken care of him.
Yeah. So that's why Spirit is showing me the same thing as what happened to my first dog, Jack. So we rescued him. He had problems, and then he ended up getting cancer and having did not he live as long as we thought. And I remember that was like the hardest thing for me when I was 6. That they show me the same sort of stuff happened to him. He is okay. And there are souls and spirits around him explaining things to him. Others aren't necessarily able to convey to him. I'm sorry about your sister's dog. Does she have kids? Specifically a little boy?
Thank you, Liv. No, a daughter.
Oh, okay. A little girl, but I didn't know if they were a tomboy or a boy. So, like the dog is, he's very important to the little girl. People just explain things to her too, that he's not actually really gone in any sense. It'll make him happier.
It makes me happy that knowing we have people on the other side to help guide us when it's our time.
It's really cute.
Joelle says, my niece said she saw my grandma when she was really young. That's really cute.
It's super cute. I'm going to pass it over to Em so she can give you your tarot reading.
Okay, do you have a question specifically for tarot? It might help you understand what this is about. But your first card is the 5 of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I have to pull this up here. So the 5 of Pentacles is upside down or in reverse, and it usually is representing something that you've lost, but you have recovered from it. Jazz says, if we pay for the reading, do we get it during the live? Yes, we have 4 readings, and you will be done in order of purchase. Okay, so I'm trying to see if you have a specific question, but I feel like this spread is specifically about something physical, like something that's happening within your life that you felt like you didn't have control over, or you felt like you lost. And now you're kind of regaining that. You're regaining that control back into your life. So that is your first card. That's kind of what the spread is talking about. I hope you know what that entails. So we're going to go to your next card. You have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, you can see, is upside down or in reverse. The Knight of Swords, knights usually represent the movement within tarot. And knights are the fastest card, the Knight of Swords specifically is the fastest card in the deck. So the Knight of Swords represents someone that is very ambitious. They're very, it does. Okay, so Joelle says, this sounds like a continuation of my last reading. I had a reading with her a while ago, like a few weeks ago. And this does sound the same to me as well. I feel like you just have more questions about it. So the Knight of Swords, when it's in reverse, the Knight of Swords deals with someone that's very ambitious. They're very driven to succeed. They want to go, go, go. They want things to happen very, very quickly. However, this card is in reverse because there is this, you're not really sure where you're going with things. You're not sure what the end point is, so it's hard to go that fast and to not know where you're going to end up. It's kind of like running around in the dark. You don't know if you're going to get to your end destination or if you're going to run into a tree. So this is something that you're struggling with. It's on my more struggle side. And they make me feel like that card in specifically is talking about this thing that's happening. It feels like it's happening very, very, very quickly. And it feels like you don't have control over it. They also make me feel like that once it happens, once you like start doing this different thing, start doing this new thing, you'll gain more insight of your surroundings in order to figure out where you are going to end up. So this leads to your next card, which is the Ten of Swords. the Ten of Swords is sideways. For me, when a card appears sideways, it represents a decision or action. So the Ten of Swords deals with traumas. It is my trauma card. It deals with deep, painful wounds. However, when it is sideways, it's the difference between feeling as if we are going to be affected by those traumas or holding on to those traumas versus being able to see them for what they are, accepting them, healing from them, and finally being able to not be as affected by them, moving forward from them. So that card is kind of like a wall, because they're like, right now, the reason why you can't see where you're going is because you have these sort of trauma walls built up. And the trauma walls are the things that are making you very nervous about making this big change in your life. But it's going to be a good change. It's just going to be a hard one to get through. So this Ten of Swords is very much it's kind of like a door that you have to go through. But right now it feels like a wall. It feels very hard to go through. So she says, should I buy a different piece of equipment to build my art? I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm afraid of burning down the house. What? Wait, what are you going to do? I mostly just want to know because I like art stuff. Your spirit guides are just laughing at that. They're like, you know the answer to that, but they also make me feel like they're rolling their eyes. Pyrography. Well, I was thinking like glass blowing or something, or like metal bending.
Yeah, I was thinking about like welding too.
Sculptures with metal and found objects. I am 100% a pyro. I feel like in my past life, I was a blacksmith. Because I have this weird obsession with wanting to learn how to sword fight, but I don't think I ever actually was a sword fighter, unless you disagree. I feel like I made swords.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I feel like that's why I'm like, fire! Yes! There's also other reasons for that, but...
What if you just start small? Do you do soldering, JT? Because you could just solder things. And then if you need to, like, weld things, find a garage that you can use so you don't actually burn down your house. Because that actually is a good idea of not burning down your house. My husband's a welder, so...
There are ways to, there are ways of doing metal stuff and stuff with fire in a safe manner. For example, doing it on concrete floor, having sand available so that you can cover it with sand. I only know this because I'm an artist and I did things with fire. My sister's a glass blower, things like that, so.
She says that's where I was going to start. If you're referring to soldering, that should be fine as long as you don't leave the soldering iron on. My brother did leave a soldering iron on.
Oh my gosh. You can go to a foundry. You go to a foundry and do metalwork there, possibly. Sorry, I really like fire. Pyromania. Let me do this. Okay, let me do this card next. So your next card, you have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles usually represents wealth, stability, family, security, that sort of thing. With the Ten of Pentacles being in the spot that it's at, they are telling me that the first part of that is going to be finding stability in this new change, because they're like, right at the beginning, it's going to feel like a lot of things happening at once. And the first thing that needs to happen is things need to slow down in order for you to feel stable. Because they're like, you're going to be the person that's going to be like, I need to have money to be stable. So I need to go find money somewhere else and bring it here. And everything's going to be fine once I have money. But they're like, the reason why you feel like you're under attack is because things are happening really, really fast. So they're like, once things start slowing down, then you'll start feeling more stable. And because you feel more stable, then the money's going to come in after. Hopefully that makes sense. So your last card of your spread, you have the Temperance card. And the Temperance card is sideways, representing a decision or action. The Temperance card represents a balance or moderation of self. This card is the most into the future, the most furthest away from me. In the Temperance card, when it is sideways, it's the difference between someone that is very like confident in their true identity. They know who they are. They're balanced in that idea of who they are, and they're not trying to hide it. The other side, the shadow side of Temperance card, is like trying to put on a mask or trying to be someone that other people think that you should be. So it creates this disturbance in what you want and what you're going for because other people are putting their opinions into it and trying to sway you in a different way other than what you would truly do in your true identity. So that card, what they're telling me with that is when things start slowing down and you start gaining a stability, you'll be able to figure out what it is you want to do, because then you're going to have the decision of, do I want to continue doing what I'm supposed to be doing, or do I want to start doing things that make me feel overall happy? Because I feel like you have almost catered to what other people want you to do. And now you are giving yourself the opportunity to do other things. But it's not going to be at first. You're going to have to go through some things first, and then it will come to you. So that is your tarot reading. I hope it made sense. Do you have any last questions about that spread before we move on to the next person? Okay, so this is Joelle. Mark as fulfilled, and we don't need to email you. Confirm. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we are sold out, so I'm going to remove this. Okay. I'm good. Well, thank you so much for purchasing a reading with us. We really appreciate reading you, and I hope you figure out your pyro stuff because it makes me excited in the inside. Do you know when you are doing a live reading next, which will be available? I'm going to try to do live readings this week. Liv won't be here, unfortunately, unless she wants to stream with me. Because she could.
Thursday?
Well, I'm going to try and stream every day. So, whatever day you want. I think you're going to be busy on Thursday because that's when we're playing games. But I could do a live stream with you. I could do a live stream with you earlier, possibly, maybe. I don't know. I might be stressed out if we're doing 2 live streams. But Thursday, we're doing a live stream earlier and you have readings. But we could do another stream at some point. I don't know. We can figure it out later. So, y'all, our next reading. Hold on. Let me look at things.
Wednesday.
Okay. So, I'm going to try to stream as much as I can this week, and then Liv apparently is going to try to stream Wednesday. So we'll have 2 streams on Wednesday too, just so you know. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Cool.
It is Cherry Coke. MJ Barbara.
Cherry Coke.
I'm really tired and I just need a little bit of caffeine.
Okay, so our next readings, these are the readings in what order they're at. We have Morgan Peters, Grace N, and then Litzee N. Sorry if I said that incorrectly, but that's the order. So we're going to do Morgan first. Morgan, are you here? Let us know you're here so that we know what your username is on YouTube. So, their comment question is, any messages from my loved ones, maybe my Uncle Josh? I have always wondered about him, or information about my spirit guides, whatever seems to come through. And then Morgan is here. She is willing and ready. I'm going to use my other deck.
Okay, good. Morgan, do you have a black cat that's passed? Oh. Vanilla Coke is the creme de la creme of all Cokes.
Well, I think you can get vanilla cherry Coke.
Vanilla cherry Coke is also good, but if I had to pick between vanilla cherry, or vanilla, I would always pick vanilla.
I would want vanilla and cherry. Or just a vanilla root beer.
Somebody trying... They said, Christy said, did you try
Orange
the
Coke? No.
available?
I didn't know there
didn't-
was such thing as an orange Coke.
Also, Morgan says not a black cat. Okay, because there was a black cat that popped up.
But do I have
alive?
She says, but do you have a cat that has passed away? He was an orange fella.
Okay. You have a black cat that's alive now. Really want an orange cat.
You gotta get a boy. Because they have one brain cell. Those are the ones that are cutest.
He wants a Maine Coon cat.
You get an orange one of those? They'd be really friendly. They're very good with dogs.
Dylan's like, I want to be a part of this conversation. I have vanilla flavored lip balm. Morgan says, yes, his name is Moose, but he isn't entirely black. Okay, does he have short fur? I just want to know if I'm seeing the right cat. I like orange creamsicles.
But
yes,
I love
he does.
orange
Okay,
stuff.
cool. I'm sorry, this isn't your Uncle Josh.
Liv likes to talk to animals.
It's just the first person, or the first thing that popped up when you were talking before you started talking about questions. He thinks very highly of himself. He thinks that he's like super like, if a cat can be sexy, and also is extremely a goober. That sounds correct. He wishes. Did you used to buy him like cheap cat food that was like colored, like Meow Mix or Kitten Caboodle?
Kitten Caboodle?
Kitten Caboodle's even cheaper than Meow Mix. That's what my mom feeds her barn cats. If a cat could be sexy. I'm sorry, that's what he thinks of himself.
I mean, if you're eating Kitten Caboodle.
Oh, Morgan says, yes, he does. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know if yes, he does was to that he's... OMG, that's so correct in terms of personality. As for food, I do not remember. Got him a new food recently. Okay, because he's talking about how he likes the food that has like the orange pieces or the orange bag, and I know Meow Mix has an orange bag and orange pieces, and it's very stinky, and my mom also feeds her cat stinky food. Like, I feel like my cat's food is very she and like fancy, but it's not as stinky, and he's like, I need orange pieces and the food that is stinky. So he just really likes the color orange, which is interesting. So if you have any toys for him that could be orange, he appreciates that, and he likes things that he can put in his mouth and bite. So if somebody wants to know who's in the crawl space behind you, Joelle.
There's no lights on. I do have stuff up there. They're like on too. I have a cat ball, 2 cat balls, and then that's a flashlight. It's reflecting my ring light right now, but it's not on. So, if any of your souls can make that go on, they get a gold star.
Yeah. Morgan said, yes, the last brand was smelly for sure, and it did have orange on the bag. Okay, yeah, so he really liked the old food. Maybe if you like a little bag and mix it in with his new food just to like weed him off of it a little bit. Also was talking about like, I have these mice here. Hang on, give me a second. I will grab one because he's telling me this is like what he wants.
Where did she go? I guess she's going to get cat food.
Okay. No, mice.
Oh,
So
mice
like,
toys.
you can like squish it and it's like fuzzy. He wants
Stereotypical
one that's, like,
mice.
But he wants the
Toys.
tail to be orange and the ears to be orange. He likes the color orange.
But why? Because I'm still confused about that. Do animals see colors or do they not?
I don't know.
I have those exact same ones for my cat. Stereotypical mouse toys. They're the best
Well,
ones.
Says he likes ones that he can like jump on, you know?
My cat prefers the orange one over the pink too.
That's funny.
Do they look different or something?
I talked to another cat. He also was a big cat too, and he liked the color orange. He would sit on the top of a refrigerator near the ramen cups because the ramen cups were orange and sit in the box that they came in. Anyways, Morgan says, "Oh, cool. I'll definitely get him orange mouse toys." Okay. I have a question about your Uncle Josh. Was he like super intelligent, like Oogo Bogo smart?
Oogo Bogo smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's cat prefers the orange mouse. I should probably try an orange mouse, but I'm pretty sure my cat likes pink. What?
Maybe cats can see the color orange.
You told me that Tofu likes pink.
I'm not saying that she can't see pink, but she does like pink.
Hi, Angel. Do you want me to call you Angel or Roger? I don't personally. I was fairly young, but I feel like he was. He just never applied himself with the circumstances in his life.
Okay, because he makes me feel like he's like savant smart.
Which usually happens with people that are that smart.
Yeah.
It's like your brother. Your brother is really smart, but because he's smart, he's not challenged enough, so he doesn't care to do things.
Do people not talk very highly of him in your family? Like they're very overly critical? Because he kind of makes me feel like, why are you asking about me? No one ever says anything that's nice.
Once I know what you choose, I'll respond. Yes, we do all have spirit guides. Every single human being, and you have more than one. You don't just have one. That would be weird if you had one spirit guide.
Morgan says yes and no. He was battling a drug addiction when he passed away. Yeah, I feel like is relatable to people that are that smart. So, does your mom talk nicer about him or a woman in your family? Was it her brother, or did she know him and like him a little bit more? It says, can you guys make more crystal videos?
We should bring in Janelle, and we make a podcast with Janelle and just talk about rocks.
That would be fun.
Or we can go to the crystal shop and we can talk to rocks. Cover the creepy window in the back. That's my crawl space. I keep it open because that's where the demons come out of. It keeps things interesting. I have flashlights and some cat balls in there.
Okay, yeah, she says, yes, my mom, she is 12 years older than him and basically raised him in a way, but it was very hard on her. Yeah, she talks very highly of him. He wants to say hi to her, but also not really. It's more like he wants to validate the things. He wants to validate that he hears the things that she says to him. I feel like bringing it up to her would make her upset. So if there's any way possible to make her feel validated, that she hears the things, or he hears the things that she says to him, without making her upset, that would be best. He also wants to be like, for asking about me, but he's pretty good.
People are like, I wouldn't have my back turned to that crawl space.
Oh, it's fine.
We had Okiku, which is a haunted doll spirit, come out of this. I was just like stared up there and I was like, wow. And Liv was like, what are you looking at? I'm like, you don't want to know. But if you listen to our podcast, we talk about that a lot because we used to do our podcast right there. It's a fun time. I love your famous haunting videos, and the one with Liv cried for moving on the man from the Lizzie Borden house. It was an interesting experience because I didn't know that was possible. She says, okay, thank you so much. It makes a lot of sense, and I will definitely tell her best I can. It'll mean a lot to her.
It's really cute. I don't know if he used to have like little race cars or something when he was little. Shows me like playing race cars on the floor, so if that's important to her, that's one thing that he wants to mention. But I'm gonna turn it on over to M for your tarot reading.
Haley says, just a cheeky okiku on my farm. Did you talk to spirit guides?
In my crawl space? No, but I know you will, because that's
okay. That's what I'm just asking to make sure I'm not doing that again. I feel like your spirit guides are clicky because I see 2 girls and then there's a masculine spirit guide. The masculine spirit guide's blue and then the female spirit guides are pink and yellow. So spirit guides tell me colors, and colors usually mean things to me. Pink is usually like empathetic, protective love. So if you have a pink spirit guide, you're usually someone that is very selfless. You would give your left leg in order for someone to never feel pain again. So you get pink spirit guide because you need self-love back. You need that sort of energy back towards yourself. She says you like to take care of people in your life in a very cutesy sort of way. Like little gifts, like enjoy the little moments sort of things. Those are the things that are the most important to you. And then you have a yellow spirit guide that's with her, and the yellow spirit guide, yellow deals with emotional intelligence. And they're together because they're talking about how this empathetic love and the emotional sides of things go hand in hand. It is about how it makes you feel, not about what it is that you're doing. So again, it's like enjoy the little things. And then this masculine spirit guide, he's blue. It deals with higher spiritual understanding. He tells me that the understanding that you get is very... You need that sort of like certain hand, because masculine energy is very like solid, it's very structured, whereas feminine energy is more organic or go with the flow energy, so it's hard to like feel like you're holding on to something. So that's why you have a masculine blue spirit guide, because it gives you this sort of feeling like you have control over the things that are happening or the understandings that are happening. So Morgan says, yes, they are. I love to give little trinkets and have fun moments with people. He's also explaining, because he's telling me about Zeroth, because I have a masculine blue spirit guide, but I'm very feminine, so it's interesting that I have male guides. And he's telling me that you are very, and he's talking about me, because it's like we have similar ways of thinking. He's telling me that you think in a very dreamy sort of way, which is kind of like disconnected from physicality, or very in your head, or very in the mental space. So because of that, that's why you need this like structured understanding of things, in the sense of feeling like you have control over things when you have a knowing of things. So understanding pieces of information allows you to feel safer, allows you to feel like you have grasp of something. I hope that makes sense. Those are the guides that I see for you. And then your tarot spread, you have the 9 of Wands. I'm like trying to figure out where to put the cards so it's not blown out. But you have the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands usually deals with like... Sorry. She says, okay, that makes sense to me. It's really cool to hear about all of this. Oh yes, I have a lot of things with dreams. I have communicated with my family who have passed in dreams. Yeah, I feel like you're very connected to this very like disconnected world of this spirituality sort of place, because purple energy is what I'm usually talking about in this case, and it's like spiritual energy. But 9 of Wands, your 9 of Wand card, it's upright, And the Nine of Wands deals with like a test of faith or like persistence. It's kind of like a challenge, if you will. I usually view it, if I take the card, I usually view it as like you're climbing a mountain and your goal is to get to the top of the mountain. However, you're like here, you're like almost at the top, but you're at the steepest part of the mountain itself. So this is the point where you're like, do I want to continue going forward? What do I want to do? But with this card being upright, it's like you are interested in continuing to scale up that mountain. However, you have this sort of, they want me to say it's a hard thing for you to do. They're like, you're up for the challenge, you're up for this test of faith, but it is strenuous on you. They make me feel like you're learning a lot of things right now. They make me feel like it's physically and it's also mentally. It's like the physical things that are happening are affecting the way you think about yourself and what you want to do about that. So this leads up to your next card, which is the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is sideways, representing a decision or action. So the Ten of Cups, it deals with a divine love, or it deals with sort of like aligning with something or harmonizing with something. And with this card being sideways, it's kind of, they want me to say, a wall for you. It's the reason why it's so hard to climb this mountain right now. So the Ten of Cups, they're kind of explaining it to me of something happened that changed your mentality about what you want out of life. So it's like the rules changed. It's kind of like, people like to say it's like a spiritual awakening, when you kind of like awaken to the things that you thought were true, or the things that you thought were like rules or laws, and you realize that those things aren't restricting you anymore. So with this Ten of Cups being sideways, you're trying to figure out what are the things that now align with me and what I think, versus what are the things that I'm going to let go of. So she says, yes, I am delving into my own spiritual beliefs at the moment and really trying to research what I'm going to do. Also physically, there's a lot that I'm learning in terms of independence. So this card is sideways because you can't go forward until you figure out which things align with you. So your next card, you have the Moon card, and the Moon card is upside down or in reverse. What they tell me about that card is you're going to accept different things into your life. However, because you have never done these certain things before, you are going to feel wary about doing so. So they make me feel like, similar to this Moon card, it's kind of like walking around in the dark. You feel like you're doing that right now. However, the Moon card is upside down or in reverse. So when the Moon card is in reverse, it represents the release of repressed emotions, or being able to finally see the things that are hidden within the dark. I usually view the Moon card as like walking around in a dark forest. The longer you're there, the longer your eyes have time to adjust to the moon's glow. So that's going to start revealing your traumas in this forest for you, in order for you to slowly deal with them and understand them so they aren't as scary anymore. But again, this is something that's going to be hard to do, and it's going to happen as a result of you finding things that align with you. So your next two cards, you have two cards that are touching. When cards touch, it's because they're associated with one another or lead into one another. So we'll start with your first card, which is the Empress card. The Empress card is sideways, representing a decision or action. The Empress card deals with strong feminine energy. They want me to say that card is a choice between... They want me to explain what feminine energy is to me. I view feminine energy as like a river, and the river is going to get to its end destination. However, a lot of people think feminine energy is passive, which makes it weak and makes it not want to go towards the things that they want in life. However, it's not about being passive is not about not getting to your end destination. It's about going around the obstacles and pivoting so that you can make it to your end goal. It's not in a masculine way that like plows through things. It goes around them. So she says, this makes sense for me with the moon card and the actions that are leading up to it. So your last card that moves in from the Empress card is the Magician card. The Magician card, again, is sideways, and it's relating to this Empress card. So the decision of the Empress card is, do we want to continue on this river's path, or are we getting off of the river? Because that's the choice. You're either going to continue down to your end goal and trust that it's there and trust that you can go around these obstacles to get there, or you're going to give up and get out of the river, because that's the view of what people think passive is. The reason why you would get out of the river is this Magician card. The Magician card represents your talents and resources that are laid out in front of you in order for you to do something. So with that card being sideways, it's the difference between understanding and seeing those resources and talents versus feeling as if you don't have them, or feeling as if you aren't expecting what the universe is going to give you. So for me, for that card, I don't think the universe gives you the resources that, like, I think the universe is going to give you resources that are meant for you to do things. However, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the resources that you expect to get out of something. So the example I usually give is, if you're changing a light bulb, you're going to expect to have a light bulb, like socket to put it in, and then electricity going to it. However, the universe is going to give you a potato, some wires, and a light bulb. You can do the same thing, however, you're expecting different resources if you were to get a potato. So right now, it feels like you can't move forward or you can't get to your end destination because you don't have the resources. However, this card is the most positive in the spread because they're there. You just need to understand and know how to use them in order to push yourself forward, to go around the obstacles instead of going backwards. So, does that make sense? Do you have any questions? That was your last card. Okay, this is Morgan. Confirm.
You mind if I run to the bathroom really quick?
Go for it.
Great.
I'll entertain the people.
Thanks.
Jesus is the Son of God. We've talked to Jesus before. I used to talk to Jesus a lot when I was a child. And it's funny because people ask questions about Jesus. So like, can you talk to Jesus? And I like thought about it for a second. And I was like, I wonder what Jesus like actually is. And then Jesus told me, he was like, you used to talk to me when I was little. So Morgan says, yes, that makes sense. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm guessing there is a lot of changing coming, and I need to keep my eyes looking for things that may not be so obvious. Yeah, they make me feel like, okay, honestly, they make me feel like the spiritual awakening part, that has happened, and now you're trying to figure out what to do about it. So the big change happened already, but you're trying to figure out, okay, you literally just like pulled the rug underneath my feet. Now I have to figure out how to stand on my 2 feet again. A spiritual awakening is kind of like taking yourself and putting you on a different planet where everything is different. You have changed planets, and now you're trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do now? So that's where you're at now. It's more of the like catching up with the change you've already done. So hope that makes sense. The next person that we're going to be reading. Can you be friends with spirits? Yes. I follow this girl on TikTok, Rebecca the Ghost Guide. And she apparently has this soul that is with her a lot. And she's friends with him. I'm also friends with my spirit guides. Hello to the things in the crawl space. That light's not on. There's nothing in there yet. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Have returned. I've released the waters of mankind.
Kelsey Davy is friends with the spirit of her doll. Yeah. She has haunted objects and she's friends with them. I thought that was a window. Yeah, I'm in my basement, so I'm underground. Which makes it worse, but it's fine. It's where I'm most comfortable because I crawled out of hell. Everything's fine. I have someone that's telling me that Jesus is going to save me, and I talk about selling my soul to Beelzebub and crawling out of hell, so that's probably not good. But I did talk to Jesus when I was little, so.
Yeah, Jesus is a cool guy.
Morgan says, yes, it has. I have so many doors opening at the moment. I keep looking for the right book or information, but it never seems right. But I will keep on keeping on. Thank you so much. You're welcome. What were you going to say?
Jesus is a nice guy. That's what I told James. Because I know they feel like they want to talk about things, so.
That's what you told James?
Yeah, the guy who was telling us about Jesus. Repenting.
Oh, I put him in timeout.
I was just gonna let him keep going, because, you know.
He's spamming. I don't want him to start being mean to people.
Yeah, as long as he's not being mean to certain people, he
So.
can be mean to us. Like,
He was put in timeout.
Yeah, but when we talk about spiritual awakenings, it's literally the same thing, but a different idea of, like... It's like when people say that they were, like, called to God, they had, like, a revival moment, and they are, like, now, like, Christians or Catholics or whatever. It's literally the same thing, only one is based around spirituality and one is based on a certain religion.
Well, so. I mean, I don't subscribe to the word spiritual awakening because people are like, it means you're going to talk to spirits. No, it's literally you just started a new chapter in your life, and now everything's different. So, like, you lived in your parents' house, and now you don't live in your parents' house, and you moved out. Or you had this boyfriend, and now you broke up with your boyfriend, and now you're different because you're single. It's that type of thing. So.
Well, yeah, he as little as that, too.
Well, it's not little. Don't invalidate our people.
I'm not invalidating it.
It's big.
About all the time in spiritual awakenings that it's not.
That is what a spiritual awakening is. A new chapter of your life. You know?
All right. Yeah. Next reading.
Okay. We have Grace. Grace, are you in the chat? Please let us know so we know what your name is. Their comment is, how is Jadzia? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. How is Jadzia doing? How are my past loved ones doing? Is there anything I should know / any advice for me? Oh, Morgan, people are giving you book recommendations of Dolores Cannon. She's a popular medium. She has a lot of interesting things to say. Okay, he is Grace.
Got it.
Okay.
Do you have a grandmother on your father's side who is passed? I wish my pen worked better, but it doesn't, and it makes me sad because I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday and I didn't buy a pen.
Did you buy manga, though?
Oh, I didn't even buy manga. I bought a cookie.
They're having a sale on manga.
They are.
Because we're nerds. I bought manga, so...
Oh, I'm glad you went. No, but could it be a great-grandmother? It could be a great-grandmother. There's a grandmother here. She has, like, stark white hair. She's shorter and chubbier. And she's talking that you need to eat more. Not eating enough.
Very grandma thing to say, you know.
Does that sound related to things going on in your life right now? She says she's on your father's side. She told me that claircognizantly, but she has very white hair and she's shorter and chubbier. You need to eat more. You're not eating enough. Even after death, Grandma will still try to feed you. Yes. This is only the second time I've ever had a grandmother say to somebody in a reading that they needed to eat more.
Dude, I need to eat more.
Well, definitely. I'll keep that in mind. It's definitely accurate. She's like, you don't need to even worry about what it is that you're eating. You just need to eat.
Yeah. So I was like, my grandma always thought that pies were healthy for you because they have fruit in them.
Whoever said that they had French toast sticks at the beginning of this, I'm now craving the little like
French toast sticks.
Cinnamon French toast sticks. Ugh, I need some. Anyways,
Disgusting. Go to the store and buy some.
I just need to.
I mean, you've had, what are they called? Cinnamon rolls on your stove since the last time I was over your house.
4 days. Well, yeah, the baby doesn't want to eat cinnamon rolls anymore.
Why are they just sitting out on your stove? Put them in the fridge.
I could do. Well, there's no room in my fridge.
Like, if I left cinnamon rolls, they would be gone because my cats would eat them.
Oh, yeah, my cat doesn't eat cinnamon rolls. She only likes to lick sticks of butter. I have not bought a stick of butter.
Well, how do you know she's not licking your cinnamon rolls? There's things that look like butter on them.
Now I have to throw them out. Leave me alone. Okay.
I mean, stop leaving them out!
We're talking to Grace's grandmother, and she wants her to eat more. This is.
You could eat cinnamon rolls. Just don't leave them out for your cat to lick.
Here, please eat more toast sticks on behalf of me. So she's here saying that you need to eat more. That is one of the more important things in your life. Also, do you have a person? I feel like they're a friend, but also a coworker. They might be both. You might have a friend that you work with, but also like a superior job. And both of them are assholes. And you need to just not deal with them. Because I feel like you're being very placating to them. You need to try and not do that. And not even up for yourself, but just ignore them. Because ignoring them will be the best thing to do. In this situation. Is that correct, Grace? Dinya says my cat once stole my avocado slices.
Avocado license? Oh, slices. I thought it said license. I was like, what?
Slices. It's an avocado.
No, listen. My cats used to be so bad that I would leave a pizza box closed. I would just leave it out and go pee, and I would come back, and there would be an entire piece missing. And you would think, oh, yeah, it's like under the couch or something. No, it's gone. Literally gone. They ate an entire piece at the time in which it took me to use the bathroom.
Wow.
I'm loving these live sessions. Definitely keep them up. We're going to be doing some more this week. It might just be me, and it might be Olive as well. She says, I don't think so. I'm currently a full-time student, and I don't think it sounds like any of my friends.
Okay. That's alright. It might be a future thing. I also can be wrong. Who is the person that she wanted to talk to, or was it an animal?
Jadzia? It sounds like an animal name, but I could be wrong. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's spelled Jadzia.
Okay. Grace, could you tell me, like, who Jadzia is, or Jadzia, in relation to you, just so I can try and figure out who I'm talking to more so?
Like, are they an animal? Like, possibly a dog? Jadzia was an animal. No worries about pronunciation. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
She was a past pet.
Okay. Was she either white or black and white? think Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Jadzia Dax. I wish I knew Star Trek that
I don't
well.
know Star Trek either.
I know Star Trek, but I don't know it that well.
I have a hard time with long movies. I don't have an attention span. Yes, she was a dog. Sorry about not being more clear in my initial comment. And yes, she was black with white markings. No, you're good.
Okay. I feel like she had a very high energy when she was younger, but before she passed, she was a little bit more lethargic. And that makes her sad because I feel like she took a lot of energy to try and be super excited when you guys came around. But she was like, oh, it takes so much energy. That's usually how I feel when I see M. Lethargically excited.
Naturally. Monotone voice.
No, not you, me. I'm lethargically excited. I'm trying really hard to be
because you're tired?
Yeah.
You have a slow wag of your tail?
Very slow wag, yes. So she wants to talk about how did you used to put her in a hammock and swing her? Or like put her in a swing or something?
Yes, she was always very excitable, but when she was very tired, as she got older. You have a tail? Who doesn't have a tail? Sorry.
Jesus.
Someone had a question. How are you able to communicate with animals? Animals communicate, they don't have an ego. So it allows us to kind of like telepathically be able to understand what they are saying or what other souls around them say for them. So that's how we are able to communicate with like currently living animals, but we're also able to communicate with past pets that are in spirit. So animals, they don't communicate like audibly usually. They can communicate with visual information, smell, taste, the rest of your senses. So there's not a like barrier in language. She says,
he said,
go for it.
She had a sort of hammock-like bed as she was older. I don't think we ever swung her, but it's possible that we did when she was younger. Oh, it's so freaking cute. So I was like, why do I feel like I'm in a hammock? And she's like, it was great. So she's very good. She doesn't want you to worry about her. There's like an older man that's passed. He's very tall with gray hair, and he's very quiet and sort of gives me like Mr. Roger vibes. She hangs out with him a lot, and they go for walks. She says he's very good at telling stories. I feel like he might be one of your great grandparents because he tells me that he lives somewhere where there was like rolling green hills, and they go for walks out in the forest, and she likes to run in the hills and chase bunnies.
So animals understand us through our energy? Yes, and vice versa. So they'll know things that you don't realize they know because they can speak telepathically.
Yeah. So when I'm talking to animals that are past, it's very similar. It's exactly the same as if I'm talking to souls that are past. So they use my clairs of taste, smell, see, hear, know, feel. To communicate. But when I'm talking to animals that are alive, it's more so telepathically. So I can get information when I'm talking to animals that are alive from their point of view. So from their perspective. It's usually with thoughts, feelings, images, emotions that aren't mine. So I know it's usually from their view because they'll show me like a person's feet from like the ankles or the knees down. They used to communicate a lot with smells and tastes as well. But when I'm talking to animals that are alive, in addition to them giving me information from their perspective, sometimes my spirit guides, who also mediate information when I'm talking to souls, give me information in a sort of omnipresent way about the animal themselves. So I've given readings, and it used to really confuse me or perplex me how I would say something like, oh, the animal wants this or they want that. And the owner would be like, well, I don't understand because they've never had that before. And I'm like, well, I don't understand necessarily how I know that either if it's not something that they haven't had because it can't be coming from them. And that's when my spirit guides explain it to me. They're like, give you some of that past or present information for the animal on behalf of them because they know what the animal needs or wants at different perspective, and they'll give it to me. It's interesting.
She says, hold on, I thought there was another one. Oh, I grew up here in Vermont, and it's possible that he was here too. Jess has always loved to run around everywhere.
Adorable. Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk to your grandmother that says that you need to eat more. And your dog as well. I'm going to pass it on over to Em for your tarot reading.
The tarot reading. Let's see. Four of Cups is your first card. Four of Cups. This is an interesting spread. I'm just going to read it, and we'll see if it makes sense to you. So, your first card. You have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups, when it's upright, it deals with a missed opportunity. They make me feel like there's something in your life that makes you feel like you are, like, behind, or, like, you're not doing something as quickly as you feel like everyone else is doing it, or, like, they just, like, keep showing me, like, the train is leaving, and you're, like, kind of chasing behind it, because you're like, I missed the train. But your spirit guides are talking about how it's, like, it sucks because you feel like you're going to be late to things. However, there's always going to be another train to get on. So, that's your first card. It's over on my left-hand side, which is something that you'll struggle with. And then you have two cards that are touching. So, when cards touch, it's because they lead into one another. So, we'll start with your first card, which is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is upside down or in reverse. The Queen of Cups, Queens usually deal with strong feminine energy, and Cups deal with your emotions. So when this card is in reverse, it's kind of you get stuck in the emotions of things instead of thinking about how it's going to affect things logically. So, sorry, your spirit guides are talking about things. It might have been said, but what deck is Em using at the moment? It is on Instagram. I can pull it up for you in a second. But the Queen of Cups, it's got this, like, heart over head mentality. So, like I said, you have these, like, deep-seated emotions about things, and it affects, like, what you do on a logical manner in regards to things. So, with that card being out, it's kind of being unrealistic. But what's interesting is it's attached to the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's kind of like the change that the universe is going to cause. And they say the thing with the Four of Cups makes sense. I've always felt behind in terms of my education. Yeah, they make me feel like it's like you're trying to catch up with something. But it's like, you don't need to worry about that. So, the Wheel of Fortune, the way I usually view it is the universe is the one spinning the Wheel of Fortune. So whatever it lands on is then what you have to deal with it over time. So the way I like to describe it, the example I like to use is when the weather changes, you have the choice to either go along with it. And for instance, if it's winter time, you can go along with it by wearing a winter coat, or you can go outside in the middle of winter and not wear a coat. But one of those things are going to be kind of harder for you to deal with. One of those things is something you're going to regret over time. So with this Queen of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, they show me a river, and the river, they're like, you're standing in the river, and the current of the river is telling you what direction to go. However, everyone talks about how hard it is to do things and how much work you have to put into something in order to feel like you're going to accomplish something or you're going to be successful. However, the universe is literally telling you with the current of the river where to go. But again, the emotions are kind of being blocked or blocking this scenario of that logical mindset of, I just need to go with what the universe has in store for me. So they're like, your river is not going to look like other people's river. So you don't have to worry about feeling like you need to catch up, because the current is going to take you as fast as it needs to take you. It's not going to speed up for you, slow down for you. It's going to go at the speed in which it is supposed to be going. So that's what they're trying to explain to me with this idea of a river with these two cards. So your next two cards, you have two cards that are touching again because they are associated with one another or they lead into one another. So your first one is the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles, it deals with wealth, stability, security, family, that type of thing. They make me feel like they make me feel like society's standards of what those things mean to you are blocking your view of what it means to you. So they want me to describe the idea of being successful of something. The idea of being successful is going to look different for every single person. So someone may think that being successful means I'm going to make $50,000 in a year. That is successful to me. Another person is going to think being successful to me means that I don't have to work in a corporate office. Being successful to me means that I can watch my children and not worry about having to have a job. Like, those are different aspects that don't necessarily deal with money. So they're like, this card is sideways because you have money in mind and it's affecting your decisions, but it shouldn't be affecting your decisions because you need to be searching for the thing that makes you feel successful or makes you feel stable. Because, like, yes, you can go and, like, gain stability by gaining wealth. You can be like, oh, I'm going to have 5 jobs. However, you're not going to feel stable because you're running around doing 5 jobs. You would like one job to support those things. However, you need to find what that means to you. Because your next card is the Sun card. And the Sun card deals with abundance. It deals with warmth, positivity. It is everything that you could possibly want. However, it's sideways because, again, you have these societal ideas coming into your head saying you should just have a job to support stability. And stability, like I said before, your idea of it is financial stability will give me stability. That's why this Sun card is sideways, because it doesn't mean that you have to give up on your dreams in order to achieve stability. So these cards are sideways, but they're also very positive because you're trying to figure out what is meant for you. So your last card is very nice. You have the Five of Pentacles, and I read this one in one of our last spreads. The Five of Pentacles is upside down or in reverse. And this card deals with some sort of loss that happened in the past. Now being able to recover from that. So feeling as if you are left behind, you will catch up, but it's not necessarily, they don't want me to use the word catch up because they're like, it's not about catching up or who's going to win the race. It's about finding your place in the world, if that makes sense. They're like figuring out the current of the river, and where the river is taking you is going to create that peace of mind you're looking for. Do you have questions? That is your last card. And while you answer that, let me pull up my deck that I have here. And I will give you guys it. Let me know if they have questions, Liv.
Okay.
Because I'm going to look at stuff. I'm going to give them the link to this deck.
Oh, the little deck you're using right now?
Yeah, the little deck I'm using right now. But I need to get onto the Amazon. And I think this deck is, like, similar to the one I have. I'm not entirely sure.
Elena says, hello, Spoopy Crew. How many readings did I miss? Just curious. You missed 3 out of 4. We're on our last one. We're not doing any more readings for today besides the last one that's booked. And then Nicole says, are you taking booking for medium readings? Not today. And if you're talking about the live stream, we have one more that Em and I are going to do, but we're going to be doing more live streams this week with me and Em at various stages if you're interested. But on the website right now for booking like private readings instead of live stream readings, I'm booked out for medium readings right now, except for I just started something new. It's called email readings, because for everybody that doesn't know, I'm a cone. I'm going to say that because it's funny. I'm going to have a baby, so I've been, like, dying. I also haven't had a lot of time to book out more readings, so between now and when the baby comes, email readings are going to be kind of what I have, unless I have more time to book in-person private readings, and if I have that, everybody will know. But if you're interested in a medium reading, if you want to try the email readings, I would appreciate it, because that's how I'm trying to go about still accommodating all of the readings that everybody would like.
The Amazon link is... I can pin it. Nah, I'm not gonna pin it. I'll just say tarot deck. Mini tarot deck. This is the link for that deck that I'm using currently. If you mean the bird deck, the owl deck that I have here. This is a different deck. I think this one's on our website though. I can share that one too, if you guys are interested. But my sister got me this one when I was in the peak of seeing owls everywhere. She gave me a freaking owl deck, so it's a fun time.
Allison says, hey y'all, curious about what various range of tools you guys use for readings. For example, this live is covering tarot and mediumship. However, Allison is an astrologer and uses natal and transit readings. She just uses tarot cards. Sometimes she'll use charms, and then I just use my head movies.
Also, if you're a patron, I do smoke readings. So, it's a fun time.
Also, thank you for everybody that's saying congratulations. I'm very excited. Em's gonna be an awesome aunt, and my husband's very excited. And I appreciate all of your patience while I turn into a circle.
Okay, I gave you the 2 decks that I'm using. If you guys are interested, they are in chat. However, our last reading, we're doing, I think your name is pronounced Litzee. Sorry if it's not. Can you comment in the chat and let us know you're here? What are you gonna say?
Regardless, Yvette says, smoke readings? How does that work? With something like sage or candles?
Well, since we've already talked about the fact that I'm a pyro.
I mean, JT's worried about using a safe soldering iron, and Emily's like, let me do some smoke readings.
Literally, we had a Patreon live, and we were reading each other, we're reading our patrons with common household objects. So I come in with hairspray, a lighter, and candles, and a piece of paper, and I light a candle, and I put a piece of paper over the flame. And she's like, what the hell are we doing? So what I do is you take the candle, and you basically draw with the smoke of the candle onto a piece of paper, and then you see what you see in the drawing of smoke that you have. So, what's up?
Readings make me more safe when you're in my house, but when you come in the house with a match and literally hairspray, I was like, oh no, there's gonna be a flamethrower. I'm not ready for this.
I mean, I'm a pyro, so it's expected. So Litzee responded. She said, congrats on the baby. I don't have a specific person in mind, but I would love to know if my spirit guides have anything to tell me, or maybe ancestors or my higher self. She also has questions, comments in her little thing. that says, I would like to know if I have any spiritual gifts and what can I do to enhance them. Also, if my spirit guides or ancestors have a message for me, I would like to know. If not, it's okay. Are we going to do the spiritual gifts?
You want to just do this at the same time?
At the same time.
The same time? Well, she said spirit guides being like ancestors, and only one spirit guide person stepped forward. I feel like he is a sort of spirit guide, because I usually don't. I think he is a spirit guide, is what I should say. Because
does he talk really slow?
He's very claircognizant. He looks like a person, and he looks like he's on a volcano, and he makes me feel like he's from, like, Aztec people.
I don't know if I know what that looks like.
I don't know what that looks like. He just tells me that he's related to Aztec people and volcanoes. Does that mean anything to you, Litzee?
Are you able to communicate with your baby?
So, at the moment, I don't think I'm able to do that, but that's also just
sorry, a lady said that you can. You're just psyching yourself out, so...
Exactly! That's why I can't talk to any of my family members either. I just psych myself out. I know there's other mediums that are like, I just talked to my grandma yesterday and she's dead. I'm like, I cannot do that. That is
who's the blonde lady? Sorry.
Me?
Yeah, related to you.
We're giving Litzee a read.
A lady freaking tells me that! Because I read that because I was like, oh god, there's a lady that's saying that she can, but she's not listening. Or she's pushing it away. She's listening but not realizing it's happening. Do you know a blonde lady?
Oh, Litzee, okay, you can read me and my baby after this. Let's do Litzee first. Litzee says, that's so cool. I'm Hispanic and my parents are from Mexico. I'm really glad that makes sense, because being able to see...
Are they an ancestor or spirit guide?
Yes.
Oh. They're an ancestor.
And a spirit guide.
Well, spirit guides and ancestors are different.
He is both. Is very stringent about that.
I don't know what that means. So is he the same soul? Or is he a spiritual guide because he's an ancestor? Like, is there two of him? But not two of him?
There is not two of him. He says he wants to say that we're getting punked again, spiritually spanked. He says that his soul existed so far ago that his ability to have his life, past life, be the soul that guides this life for you is possible. Does that make sense?
So you're saying that he didn't have to have a different life being your spirit guide? He just didn't exist at a time in which you did exist, so you're able to have that connection with him. Does that?
Yes.
Okay. So he is the same soul.
Yes, he's like, I'm just that old that I have existed out of time for so long that I can have this soul of this person to be your spirit guide.
Yeah, I think it's the same guide that I'm seeing. He talks really slow.
Yeah, but he's very like
grasshopper sort of way, you know?
Yeah, he's very like strong-willed. If someone was up to him and went up to him and was like, it's gonna rain tomorrow, he'd be like, it is not going to rain tomorrow. They're like, well, how do you know that? And he's like, I just know.
He talks like Mufasa.
Yeah.
Because you're getting claircognizant stuff, but I'm getting clairaudient stuff. He talks really slow, like Mufasa in the sky.
That is very funny. Okay. Infiltrating my thoughts, my dog. Sorry. So they wanted to know more about spirit guides too?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I love it. The first one that popped up because he's both an ancestor and a spirit guide. Are you very visual? Do you have like very vivid dreams, and when you read things you're really good at envisioning what things look like just given the words that are written on a paper or that someone says about them? He wants to say one of your psychic abilities is clairvoyance. About another question she asked was psychic abilities.
Yes. Spiritual
Oh,
gifts.
good. I'm glad you.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, you're right.
I love you. I just need you to be patient for like another half hour. What do you think? You're adorable.
I feel like you're also very clairsentient. Yes, I am, but I doubt myself a lot.
Yeah. That's okay, I do too. It's normal. I don't think there'll ever be a day where I'm very just like, I know all of these things. So there.
What's with wind, Liv? Do you see something with wind? There's like a lady here and she keeps like, for lack of a better word, blowing in my face. Just, it's like, okay, I get it.
Is it more like nature and wind?
I mean, yeah, she's a nature spirit, but also she's blowing in my face. I feel like you're clairsentient because I keep getting blown in the face by this spirit guide that is the epitome of wind.
I feel like you can talk to trees, Litzee.
Yep, that makes sense.
Because she keeps telling me it's not that it isn't the wind, but I'm trying to make her focus on the wind that goes through the trees.
Well, why is she blowing in my face?
That's how they think that it makes most sense to you or them. So sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a tree. She looks like the suicide trees from Dante's Inferno. But she, like, can walk around. She's not, like, tied to the ground.
Interesting. Does that make
and
any
she's
sense
green.
Let's
I mean,
see.
it probably doesn't make any sense to you. We're talking to a spiritual being that looks like a tree that blows in your face. But I feel like you're clairsentient in the case of feeling emotions, but feeling physical sensations. So you feel drawn to things. And that's your clairsentience abilities working. What were you going to say?
I don't remember. Litzee says, when I was younger, I used to be really attached to my neighbor's trees, and yeah, I have a tendency to talk out loud to trees sometimes. She's like, you're talking to me, bitch!
Yeah, I would also say you're clairaudient because Mufasa Man, your ancestor spirit guide, talks, like verbally talks. He has a really low voice, and he talks so slow.
So, what is that? Claircognizance, clairaudience, and clairsentience?
Yeah, you also said clairvoyant. It's just...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like everybody has a combination of all 6 clairs, but it's the way in which you use them that is going to be useful information for you to know. So the way to know that is to understand the way in which you process information or the way in which you think about things. So
yeah, we have a new blog
go for
post
it.
on.
Huh. Do you?
Yeah, it's all about
I could share it. Hold on.
Yeah, so they can all go read it, because people have said that it's really helpful for them to figure out what their clair abilities are, and I'm going to start breaking down the clairs in blog posts in the next coming weeks, like one a week. So, go read that first, and then other
place
will come out next to help you understand, like, oh, I have these abilities, but also, like, how the fuck work, you know? I'll explain how the F they work.
Do you feel like things talk to you, like, outside of your ear? Like,
me?
Here? No, Litzee.
Litzee? Got it.
We're not reading you, remember? Because Wind Lady makes me feel like she's whispering into my ear. It might just be a feeling, though. I feel like an older man talks to you a lot. I don't know if it's your grandfather, or I feel like they're related to you in some way. They have, like, darker brown hair, but they tell me that they're older. They're telling me their hair color because otherwise it would just be like, he has gray hair. And every old person kind of does. I get sleep paralysis a lot, and sometimes I get audible hallucinations. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is the man that you're seeing, is he very short and bald, but with gray hair on the sides, but it's like darker gray? And he like is a little bit hunched over. He has like a very happy, like almost Buddha face, but he's not like Indian, and he has like a little like walking stick.
Yeah, because he, like, talks to you a lot. I feel like you get nervous about things, and he's just, like, that level-headed, heartfelt person to tell you that things are okay and to prove it to you. I don't know who that is, because I'm very bad at knowing their relation, so. But sleep paralysis. Both of my grandpas have passed away, but yes, I know who you're talking to.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's really cute. He's very sweet. He talks very slow and is like, if the world was falling down, he'd be like, no, it's not. It'll be fine. We'll try again tomorrow.
The way in which you think, do you think very, very quickly, but you try to slow it down? Does that make sense? It's like you get overwhelmed by how fast your thoughts work. Because I feel like that's why your spirit guide talks so slow. Because I'm asking about the sleep paralysis. The sleep paralysis, it's like when you're asleep, it's a different way your brain works, which is also kind of stress-inducing. That's my grandpa from my mom's side. Oh my god, yes, my thoughts are everywhere, and it's so hard for me to focus on a single thought, and I get so overwhelmed. Because I'm like, I kept asking, I'm like, why are you talking so slow? Does she talk slow? And he showed me the way in which you think, and you think so unbelievably quickly, and I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. And then you said the sleep paralysis thing, because they're telling me that it's like when you're asleep, your brain can't work that fast, so it kind of gets like, it like short circuits. So it kind of gets lost in the dream space. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it with words. Oh, you're looking for readings? I can give them the link. I'm on it.
Thanks. Also, everybody likes your cricket noise. I don't think they've heard it before.
That's my stress noise. Well, okay. Echolalia. I'm autistic. You're welcome. Live readings. Wait.
Is Dad home? Yeah. If you guys hear a squealing in the background, it's just my husband greeting our dog. It's a high-pitched noise.
Yes,
Lena
it does.
says,
okay. Got it.
oh, do you have a tarot spread for Litzee?
I can. Hold on. Bada-beep, bada-beep. Okay. You get 3 cards. So, first card, you have the Fool card. They make me feel like this one needs to be there. Okay, so the Fool card. What?
I have a question. Is there something spiritual in my bathroom, and is it bad? No? Is your bathroom at the end of a hallway, and is your tub right across the wall, and your sink is to the left? Hello.
Hi.
I told everybody you were coming home.
Oh, good. Good.
Excited about the child. I told them I'm with Cone.
Yeah, I'm good. Excited. All excited. I'm gonna go shower. Is it okay if I lay down?
No, there's a bathroom in my room.
Love you.
Me too. Okay.
Do you
I'm not
feel
sure
like
about the
do you feel like someone looks at you while you're sleeping, like through the doorway or something? And another one in the middle of the hallway.
Oh, yeah, the one in the middle of the hallway is the one that I feel like I'm seeing.
Well, is there something weird with that one?
I feel like there's like a little like house elf type thing.
Hmm.
'Cause it's not human, but it's also not bad. It's just more like mischievous.
Yes, from my bath. I have to keep it open for my cat because her litter box is there, and the one I'm talking about is in my room. I don't know, do you see a dude? I don't know if it's like they're showing me. I don't know what they're showing me, but I see like a dude and he's like in shadow. He's a person.
Mm.
And you just like become aware of someone standing in the doorway. And then you kind of perceive him because you look over and you just, like, get the feeling that there's someone standing there. Yeah, I feel like there's a dude with a mustache. Why is he in the bathroom? I don't fucking know. That's why I'm like, this is weird. I don't know. So, I don't know if you see the bad. I don't think he's a bad thing. He's just, weird. I don't know why he's in the bathroom. You got anything about that? Because I don't know.
Let's see, do you have like a purple amethyst stone that you like?
Yeah, I was wondering if he was negative. I don't think so. I think he's just a dude.
He's just a grumpy old man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's, like, related to you either. I feel like he's more related to the house. And you just, like, accidentally see him. But I, like, don't know why he's in the bathroom. That's weird. Let's see, you have creature in the house elf. Oh, from Harry Potter, creature.
That's funny. I do have an amethyst crystal, but I wear selenite and blue angelite. Take the amethyst crystal and put it on the counter in your bathroom. That's just what I saw. So that's why I asked. I was like, well, I should first make sure she has an amethyst before I say put an amethyst stone that I am assuming that you have in the counter in your bathroom.
Yeah.
I think it'll just help with deflecting his energy so that you don't necessarily see him as much. It's not that he isn't there, it's just that you won't be able to perceive him as easily.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy
Makes
up
sense.
the frequencies.
So, your tarot reading. You have the Fool card. The Fool card deals with someone that's at the beginning of an adventure. So they don't have a lot of experience. They're kind of still learning things. They make me feel like right now is a very exciting time of your life because things around you are, like, changing because they're showing me, like, you walking through the city and the seasons are all changing and there's a lot of opportunity for things. But the Fool, they want me to remind you, doesn't have a lot of experience, doesn't really know how to do things. So they're like, don't get caught up in the idea of something not working out, because that's going to teach you how to do something better in the future. So your next card is the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune is upside down. So the Wheel of Fortune, again, is change that is caused by the universe. So, like I described it before, it's kind of like the seasons changing. The changes are going to happen in your environment around you. However, you have the choice if you want to go along with it. So you can either wear a coat outside in the middle of winter, which would probably be a optimal choice, or you can decide not to, but it would probably be very cold for you. So that card being in reverse, they make me feel like the Fool sometimes doesn't understand how to go with how the universe is changing. So again, they show me someone walking around a city and the seasons are changing around them. They have this like kind of like ho-hum to their step, in the sense of like, I want to like adventure, find things in my life, figure out myself. But they're like, don't allow yourself to get caught up in that. They're like, keep saying, don't allow yourself to get caught up in the wind. So what they mean by that is the universe is going to give you opportunities of things, but you need to allow yourself to choose those things. Because they keep telling me that the Fool likes to discover things, but commitment to things is a little bit harder for the Fool. So they're like, they're going to show you a lot of opportunities very, very quickly. And it is about figuring out which one of those are going to fall in line with you. Because your last card, you have the King of Cups. Now, King cards deal with strong masculine energy, and Cup cards deal with your emotions. So the King of Cups is very like balanced, compassionate. They kind of know what they want. I usually view Cups cards also in the idea of some sort of passion or dreams. So you have the authority over these passions or dreams. So that is specifically what they're telling me, that you need to kind of commit to something that falls in line with your passions, your dreams, the things that you could possibly want, so that you can grow and become more of an authority figure surrounding that thing. So, do you have questions about your spread? Please let me know. Okay. Confirm. My goodness.
Can you add a link to Patreon?
Patreon?
Mm-hmm. This is my cat. Likes to sit here while I work. You got a whole chicken on your chair.
A whole ass chicken.
Whole ass chicken. Likes to be as tall as I am because she's a cat.
Is there anything related to love in there? And yes, that makes sense, because I have a very hard time committing to things. Sorry, I'm asking about the love thing. Sometimes they'll just tell me about people. So usually what your spirit guides will tell me is they'll tell me possible people for you for your future. With that being said, first off, the thing I don't like to assume is, are you in a relationship now? I have a hard time telling when they tell me people of what timeline in which they are speaking about. Like, are they present, future, past? But this is what they're telling me in regards to that. So I feel like you were in a relationship with someone that has a very earthy way of thinking, in the sense of they're very calculated. They like to be right about things. They like to overanalyze the situations. They like to think about things in a very logical, structured sense of mind. And that is what I feel like the relationship that you had in the past. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I may have placed them in the wrong set of the timeline. However, the person that I feel like you're going to be future-wise, and again, you have free will. You have the ability to change this if you decide never to leave your house. You have free will. You have the ability to do this. But the person that they are telling me about is the person that you want perspective about. So they show me a person that has similar energy to this person that thinks in a very earthly sort of way. But instead of this very calculated structure way, they think in a very like cooling, calm sort of way. It's more of an understanding instead of a like wanting to know the calculations of information. I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Liv?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I'm talking to people in chat too.
So they're telling me about someone that's more understanding in the sense of they have like a cool understanding instead of being like very obsessive about what the answers are. Does that make sense?
Future partner?
Yeah. The future partner does.
I feel like any past partners that you've had, they've been more self-oriented, whereas you need somebody that is going to help you be the best you can be, not necessarily what can Litzee do for me, and what can I already do and say that I'm doing for her. No. It's going to be what can I do for Litzee to make her who she wants to be, and I'm going to also do my own thing, and you're going to help them be the best person that they can be. Someone that's more understanding of what you want, not necessarily their needs.
Yeah. So those are the two people that they show me, and she says, I am currently single, and I haven't ever been in a serious relationship with someone who you described from your first explanation. So what I asked your spirit guides is, who is the person that that will work or should work? And that is the person that I'm saying is understanding. But they told me that you will get confused with that energy because you know what you need and you know what you want. And that's that understanding energy. However, it looks very similar on someone that thinks in a very earthy sort of way. So, like I said, I have a hard time pinpointing when people happen. So this may be a future person as well, but I feel like if that is the case, there's someone else down the line that's going to be the person. And it's the difference between someone that thinks in a very calculated sort of way versus someone that thinks in a very understanding sort of way. Those are the difference. Does that answer your question? Oh, okay, I understand. Thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I have a hard time being like, okay, they show me this person, and then me knowing when they happen, which is why I explained that in the beginning. And that's why I ask if you're in a relationship, because they don't give me context of the person. They just tell me who the person is. But that was our last reading. I'm planning on doing more live streams. I'll let you guys know when live streams are going to happen in Instagram, because they're probably going to happen on the fly, except for the one that will happen on Thursday. The Thursday live will happen at 1, and we're going to be streaming a video game. But we're going to be doing more readings, live streams, where we do tarot readings, medium readings, all of the things. More this week. I think Liv is gonna hop on Wednesday. Is that what you said?
I think I can do Wednesday. If not, I'll let you know. But
okay.
As of right now, it should be a possibility.
And if you guys want to join Patreon at the Cloud tier higher, we have a mediumship circle that we gotta figure out for Wednesday as well. That should happen at 7 p.m. EST. If I did that right. But you guys will get a notification if you're already a patron of when all of that stuff will happen. But I'm going to try to do some more live streams this week. Some will just be me. Some will be me and Liv. Some will be me and the rest of my ghost hunting team. And I will let you guys know on Instagram stories, so make sure you follow us on Instagram. But we are going to go if I can figure out how to make it all stop. You got any things to say?
Stop. No. Well, for showing up and being here meta sidekick best. If you would like to leave a like on this before we leave, that would help us a lot. And YouTube to be like, oh, people actually enjoy these.
We
freaking
also,
weird-
I'm sorry, we have 111 concurrent viewers, so if that means something for you, 111. Oh,
that's really
I
cute.
see. Oh, I see. You want to show people your shirt?
Oh, I was trying to look at the computer and I forgot that that is the thing that is showing everybody where I am.
Yeah.
Trying to look at likes.
But
Did
you
not
guys
mean-
have a good one. We'll see you later this week.
The audio meta. Sa. Peace out, Brussels sprouts.